Prince Harry is to marry his American actress girlfriend Meghan Markle. Clarence House has announced a short time ago the prince, fifth in line to the throne, will marry Mrs. Markle next spring. In a statement, Prince Harry said he was delighted to announce the engagement and had received the blessing of Mrs. Markle's parents. We now head to London to our UK correspondent, Jonathan Sacerdoti. Jonathan, thank you very much for being with us. A very exciting day, I suppose, for the United Kingdom. How is this perceived over there in Britain?
That's right, Jonathan. Very excited people all over the place, especially in newsrooms. This could have been a surprise, but it certainly isn't one. There have been rumours for days now that this announcement was on its way. And his girlfriend, Meghan Markle, had been seen in the UK. They'd even been speculating over the engagement, of course, because it was seen that she'd tied up her affairs over the pond, that she had finished filming in Suits, that this was not something she was pursuing anymore in her career, that she'd even transported her 2 dogs over to the UK, and they are currently in quarantine because of the UK's rabies vaccines and laws. So it's been something that people have been anticipating, and the press have been almost gambling on this. Bookies took it off their books. This wasn't something you could bet on anymore. And today, the announcement finally came at around 10 a.m. in the morning that the two had got engaged earlier in the month. So this is something they kept secret for a little while, and that the wedding will happen in spring of next year, though a precise date hasn't yet been given.
Well, if the dogs made the transatlantic trip, that is certainly a sign of seriousness. Now, 6 years ago, if I remember correctly, was the wedding of Prince William, Harry's older brother. That was a very, very big event there in Westminster, in the entire British capital. Are we expected to see the same grand ceremony this time?
So obviously it's not quite as big a deal because William was the second in line to the throne. Prince Charles, of course, the next in line. Now William has had 3 children, or 2 and a bit himself, a third due very soon. And that means that Harry is now 5th in line to the throne. So he's a less important figure in that sense, but still a very important figure because he takes on many responsibilities in the royal family. So it's unclear exactly where the wedding will be and quite what scale the wedding will be conducted on. He may have preferences himself. Also, there's the slight complication that his fiancée is in fact a divorcee. She's been married once before to a movie producer. But of course, under the Church of England, it is possible for divorcees to get married, and they can get married in church. So as yet, no announcement over where the wedding will be. It could be Westminster Abbey, could be St. Paul's Cathedral. It could be somewhere a bit smaller if that's what they prefer. But certainly it will be a very high-profile event, whether or not the couple want it to be. But with him being royalty and her being showbiz royalty, let's say, this is bound to be a wedding that people will be watching from all over the world.
Yeah, a bit like the King's Speech, this story. You mentioned that here we don't only have, not only Prince Harry is a celebrity, we call it, so is his future wife. That means that perhaps this will be a very, very big event in its magnitude. The whole world will be watching because, as you mentioned, it's not only royalty, it's also showbiz.
There's a lot of talk about the person he has chosen to marry. People, of course, are saying that's who he's in love with, and that they've shown in the year or so that they've been together that they kept their relationship very secret and quiet. They only appeared once together officially to be photographed at a charity event. Otherwise, Prince Harry has been very careful to keep this out of the limelight. Of course, not something he can do from now on. He is a public figure, and so is she, and she will be even more of a public figure when they marry. But it is notable in terms of the history of the royal family as well, that she's not only a divorcee, she is also mixed race. She has one parent who is African-American. She's also an actress who's been very vocal on political issues, even speaking out before she was with Prince Harry, I must add, against Donald Trump before he was elected as US president for what she called his misogyny. So she's somebody that definitely will bring a new flavor to the role of a royal wife, though maybe she'll be undergoing some training over the last months and in the future how to perhaps be a bit more diplomatic, keep a lower profile on those political issues. But when it comes to powerful women, when it comes to female issues, when it comes to charitable causes, she may well carry on campaigning as she has done. And Prince Harry himself, having originally been seen as something of a party royal in the past, even once caught in controversy by dressing up in a Nazi uniform at a fancy dress party, has since then, over recent recent years concentrated very much on his charity work as well, and has really done a very good PR job on recasting himself as a far more caring member of the royal family. So moving ahead together, the two will perhaps be aiming for that sort of public appearance in future.
And that wedding is expected in the spring. It will certainly be a very big thing in the UK and the entire world. Jonathan Sacerdoti joining us from London. Thank you very much.